If you are part of the South Asian cricket culture, congratulations. If you are an Indian, if you are a Pakistani, if you are a Bangladeshi, if you are just part of that diaspora, congratulations.
Wait, are
Both-
we really celebrating wins against B strong sides, or even say C strong sides?
Sure, a win is a win. What do you
Wait,
mean?
is that really our level now?
What are you talking? Are you taking a hit at Pakistan or India right now? I can't tell.
If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, Pakistan has won their ODI series, India have won their T20I series, and we're going to be discussing a little bit of both or a little bit of one more than the other. With me, as always, Bashar Sayyed, my brother, my co-host, someone who's jumped into my intro with such passion. He's never done that before. Bashar, the floor is yours.
Hello and welcome. A ODI series win against South Africa. We have seen that before. This is the third ODI series win in a row. First in Pakistan. So congrats and a big shout out to the people of Faisalabad who came out in massive numbers.
Droves.
To support cricket, support Pakistan cricket. Love to see a packed stadium supporting an ODI format, a format that seems to be being exterminated.
I mean, my hot take on the ODI format, just real quickly, right on the top of the podcast, is that I think ODI is the most complete format in cricket. T20 is too compact. Test match might be a bit too elongated. Test match is for the purists. T20s are for the newbies. If you know ODI cricket, then you know ODI cricket. It's the best of both worlds, where you get the chance to quote unquote rebuild innings if you need to, or take the innings at a slower pace and then build it again and basically explode near the end if you need to. And if you have momentum, you can just carry on in all 50 overs. I think it's just the most compact, not the most compact, I should say, but the most balanced format and all. So I love watching 50 over cricket.
Just from a commercial point of view and also just from an audience viewing point of view, how do you expect somebody to put 8 hours aside of their day to watch an ODI match?
You don't have to watch every single delivery. I don't watch every single delivery of Test match cricket either, but it's a very good. So here, I'll give you a stat, or I'll give you an anecdote. Netflix makes shows specifically for its platform that are meant to be played in the background. Cricket has been doing this since 1880. Test match cricket, you just put it on the background, have yourself a nice day, read a book, chill out, do your chores, every now and then catch a good spell here and there. And you'll know, the audience / the commentators will let you know if it's a good spell happening, if something spectacular is happening or not. Same thing with the 50 over cricket. Now, the one critique I will make on 50 over cricket is that maybe it's time to reduce the overs.
To 40 overs?
40, I think, is the right number. T20 is 20 overs in the name. Test match cricket, 80 overs in a day, roundabout. Sometimes 90, sometimes less. But 80 is probably the average. So you go from 20 to 40 to 80. It's just you walk them up the ladder, man. I think that is the saving grace of ODI cricket. You immediately cut down an hour and 30 minutes of cricket. You immediately lessen the 15 over to 35 over drag that people call, which I don't think it's a drag. I've been to ODI cricket games. I think that middle over, if you're a true purist cricket fan, that's when the innings is being built, and you love the way that batsmen are taking the 5s and 6s and over, or 3s and 4s and over, and that's where the bowlers are actually grinding the match away. So yeah, if you want to really lessen if you want to bring the game from 8 hours to 6 hours, which I guess is a bit more, compatible to modern day life. It starts at 3, ends at 9, or starts at 6, ends at 12. I think that would be the way to go.
But so you must have enjoyed the third ODI because that was a whopping total of 72 hours.
Give me 180 target and give me a tight game. I'll be watching 100 overs. That's the way that I like to enjoy it. I am a product of mid 2010s Pakistan cricket, where 220 was par. Anything over that is above par. Anything lower than that, we gotta say that we really bend those arms to get those doostras in. If you know what I mean.
I want to take a bit of an unconventional approach to this podcast.
Let's go.
No notes. No match by match. No innings by innings.
Just vibes.
I want to throw questions at you.
Let's go.
I want this to be a questions-based podcast. And the first question I want to ask you is, how seriously do we take a win in the ODI format against South Africa when they're playing a depleted B or even C strong side? There's no Rabada. There's no Jansen. There's no Aiden Markram. There's no Bavuma. Ryan Rickleton, maybe. So they're missing Tristan subs, like 5 or 6 of their guys that fit into their main playing 11. How seriously do we take this series win?
We take it seriously enough to gain momentum from it. I think I've said this before. This has been my um this has basically been my position on this matter, is that if the teams are sending B or C strong sides, you cannot do anything else except thrash them. And I think all this entire tour that South Africa played in Pakistan, I wouldn't say it was a convincing thrashing, but there were moments of huge thrashings here and there. And I think that's enough of a wake up call that if the South African Cricket Board is taking this format or this tour seriously, the next time they send in guys, they'll be a bit better. And that's how you casually or organically basically bring in your international standings higher.
No, that might be actually a larger question for the ICC as how do we make bilateral cricket more competitive? Because South Africa are resting their main players because they have a World Test Championship test matches coming up against India, which obviously holds more value. There's a World Test Championship final at stake. South Africa are defending champions. So it makes sense for these guys to sort of rest out a meaningless bilateral for a World Test Championship test matches coming up.
I've always said that the answer to saving bilateral cricket is to having an extra team in there, making it a small tournament.
So basically abolish bilaterals and then just introduce tri-series.
Tri-series, trilaterals, or whatever you want to call it. That's probably the way forward. Just to create more stakes. Right now, meaningless bilaterals, as you said, like the purest cricket fan will watch it. Even the casual will check it out every now and then, but there are no stakes. And if it's not a format World Cup year, then it honestly doesn't make any sense. Like it's not a T20 it's not an ODI World Cup year, and then that's why you have, these guys, the South Africa B strong, C strong side playing in, because most of the guys are setting themselves up for the T20s or the World Test Championship, both which have stakes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. There needs to be something that can make bilaterals have more stake in it. There's more weight, so teams take it more seriously.
Maybe
right now it seems like the Pakistan team, all the other teams are using bilaterals to test their bench strength, to build depth in their team. And yeah, I will say, if any country in the world where bilaterals actually matter, it's Pakistan. Because in Pakistan, captains can lose their jobs if they lose bilaterals. Coaches can get sacked if they lose bilaterals. So in Pakistan, I would argue it counts.
It definitely does. And I think the way that Pakistan actually played this entire series, kudos to them. They drew a pretty tough test match series, which I still think they should have won. There was a bit of a lapse in the second test match, especially in the second innings, where they were all bowled out for 138. That's probably one of the main reasons they lost that series. But still, formidable fight back there. That was actually a pretty good South African side and a pretty good Pakistan side going at it, and tough pitches in Pakistan. Love to see that. The T20I, Pakistan bounced back really well, humiliated in the first one, and then second and third, they just completely blew them away. And same thing here. New captain, no politics per se on this side internally. I haven't seen anything. A pretty steadfast captain, a man of his words. He uses very choice words in post-match conferences. I don't know if you've seen his interviews with Uduj post-matches. He just comes in, says the point, he's out there, which I also like. A change of face and change of attitude for sure. But a lot, like you said, rides on these things. Like Shaheen, as we remember, had one bad bilateral series when he was given his captaincy the first time in the T20 World Cup year, and it was taken away from him. And so this is a good start, hopefully long and illustrious captaincy.
And we have to also understand that Pakistan is a crappy ODI team. I think if you look back at Pakistan's ODIs this year, Champions Trophy, where it actually matters, we were a total flop. We lost to New Zealand in New Zealand. We lost to West Indies in the West Indies. So this really is a start. We keep saying this, the start of a new era for the Pakistan.
They won 2 in the past 11.
Yeah. So it's not good signs.
Not a good sign. Which is still shocking to me, because I think I was still riding the high of winning in South Africa and Australia, which were convincing wins. And actually, a few of those games had 100% of the Australian players as well. Yeah.
Full strength team?
Full strength team. It's difficult to see for our Indian counterparts to play a full strength.
You're saying Pakistan beat a full strength Australian team in ODIs in Australia?
Yes, that happened. Except for the third one where Pat Cummins chose to watch Coldplay over Pakistan, which
priorities.
Does anybody have any problem with that?
No.
I don't think anybody.
Absolutely not.
I would have played that game, but it's me. And Pat Cummins was having a blast in Sydney watching Coldplay Rocket On. So fair enough to that. But by then Pakistan had already, made a name for them in the series. So that South Africa win was also really good. It really established Saim Ayub, who has now furthered that establishment in this format, which I would love to talk about. The Karachi agenda, flying high We lost it for a second, but it came back stronger than ever.
Yeah, I think I was looking at Saim's stats. If you add Saim's test average plus his T20 average, it's still lower than his ODI average.
So this is the stat that I read from Mazhar Bhai. Okay, so Mazhar Arshad said, this is Mazhar Arshad stat, which I did confirm. Saim Ayub is the only Pakistan batsman to average over 50 and have a strike rate of 100
Beautiful.
in ODI cricket.
Beautiful. I think ODIs is his best format. And
I agree.
I'm really glad he's come back and he's doing well. We're all taking the 4-month gap that Saim had with his ankle injury very lightly. And we saw Saim had a pretty average PSL. It took him a long time to come back into T20s, like 6 ducks this year, right? So for him to come and score against South Africa in this series is very important. It's going to build momentum towards the next series against Sri Lanka. And I hope he can carry the momentum towards the tri-series and then eventually, where it matters, the T20 World Cup.
I agree. And I think this is now this is the time to start incorporating Saim in as many Pakistan games as possible across formats. I need to see him in the test side. I need to see him in the ODI side. I need to see him in the T20 side. Give him all three. Let him cook. This guy bowls like a maniac, bats like a maniac, and fields on the hot spots with a lot of grace and a lot of conviction. When the ball is up in the air and he's beneath it, you're like, this is most likely 99% caught. So this is the type of player, that dynamic player that Pakistan needs. The only other that I can think of is probably Shadab Khan, who sort of covers all three areas, but he still has limitations in ODIs and Test cricket. And so, again, if you find a unicorn, cherish it, love it, care for it, do not destroy it.
And credits to Mike Hesson and team for getting Saim to bowl those overs and for him to become an asset for us in this format. He opened the bowling today and the batting today and did a pretty good job doing both things.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a conversation happening if Saim bowls, his batting gets affected, which never made sense to me.
I'm not able to find that stat. So somebody can help me out. There's the stat what we're looking for is what is Saim's batting average when he bowls in a match versus when he does not bowl in a match?
I mean, you could probably look this up. It's going to be a lot of hard work. I don't know if AIs can help you with that, but if anybody wants to do that hard work for us, for sure. The one anecdotal evidence that I do have is when this stat was being rolled up, I think it was the third T20I in this series where Saim only bowled 1 over and then he got out for a duck. So that's when people were like, oh, the theory stands. I would love to see a little bit more evidence. Maybe people can pull that up and give us a proper breakdown of that. But I don't think there's any proper correlation. If you're an all-rounder, which Saim is 100% is now, then you should be able to do both and not have one sacrifice the other or eat into the other. Like the best all-rounders that I know in Pakistan cricket, don't let one or the other affect anything.
My next question to you is around Fakhar Zaman and his future and his past. Because in the past, he's gotten a few injuries. And his present, he's recovering from those injuries. And he just went back in the domestic and scored like 450s in 6 innings. He's come back and he scored a 46 in the first ODI. It wasn't the most convincing 46. Like he looked okay in that. But he scored back-to-back ducks since. My question is, what is Fakhar's future? And do we have a backup opener in the squad for this series or the next series? Like even if Fakhar is to go, do we have anybody to bank on in the back? I mean, we had Abdullah Shafiq opening in the West Indies when Fakhar was injured. But we've seen through Abdullah Shafiq's ODI numbers, his List A numbers, that he's probably not the best opening option right now.
Would you be upset if I said the name Imam Haq?
For ODIs?
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
I mean, these man's has scored runs underneath his belt just recently. And he scored a 96 in the first
If you're saying Imam in ODIs, I think this will go back to a much larger argument that Pakistan was, and maybe will be a bowling dominant side. So basically they're winning matches based off of their bowling, taking wickets, stopping runs, and our batting is just good enough to chase 260, 270. If we're batting first, we don't know what to score. We don't know what a par score is, how to assess conditions. And if we're chasing anything 300 plus, we're also struggling to pace our chase to get those runs. So if Imam does come back in the team, like you're saying, you can expect Pakistan to score those 280s, 290s, chase down those 250s. But what happens when your bowling is struggling one day, which inevitably it will, and these are batting friendly conditions, you have to go out there, score 350. Does Imam have that game in him to score quickly? Because his overall ODI strike rate is 82.
I see the problems and the qualms in that selection. I think if Hessen is looking at the 27 ODI World Cup, which is in South Africa, bouncy batting conditions and smaller grounds, then I think to introduce a new opener now is probably the right call. Right now, isn't like the next series that's happening. That's probably the only way, unless he really believes in Fakhar Zaman that he can pull through and go all the way into the 27 World Cup. I think Fakhar is eyeing that 27 World Cup, at least for his sake. We did the math. He's 33 or 34 right now, maybe 35. He's maybe has 18 more months of proper cricket left in him, which is probably the end mark of the 27 World Cup. He's done a lot for Pakistan cricket, so giving him a
Only
proper send-off-
Pakistani to have a 45 plus average in ODIs and a 90 plus strike rate with, I think, minimum 2K or 3K runs.
There we go. And he's I think the only Pakistani to score 200 runs in ODI as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of positives done. He's a legend of Pakistan cricket, ICC World Cup, ICC Champions Trophy winner as well. We know
8 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, but bro,
I feel like Fakhar is
Inzi
still
won his first World Cup and his first World Cup.
Hold on.
All right. So
sometimes I feel like
the
Fakhar
shadow is always on him.
Fakhar is still on the team because of his Champions Trophy or because of his 15th semifinal. Like, I want to see some more tangible numbers from Fakhar in the recent past that have been clutch.
The past 2 years have been a dip. I'll say that. Right after that, 2023 World Cup. But he also had a blistering match-winning innings in that World Cup. Don't forget the New Zealand innings. That's the one I'm talking about. And so, yes, both Fakhar and Babar are sort of in a similar ship. Babar, the spotlight's more on him because that's Babar Azam. You know, we can talk about Babar as well. He just entered his name into the top 5 most runs scored in all formats combined for Pakistan of all time. So he's the top 5. Arguments can be made throughout his careers and eras, and if he's the best Pakistani batsman ever produced, yes or no, blah, blah, blah. What is for sure is that he's in the top 5.
Someone said when he made that post that, oh, how many trophies does he have? And my question is, how many trophies does Mohammad Yusuf have? Yunus Khan, 1. Inzi, 1. Javed Midad, 1.
Babar 1.
Babar, 1. So the standards of Pakistani batting are very low.
They are low, but it is still yet, big fish, small pond syndrome might be a real thing, but we still have to celebrate our heroes. We will never have, I should never say never, but we don't have a Dravid, Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, such Sehwag type batsmen in Pakistan. We just don't have those. But they also don't have Wasim Akram, Waqai, Shoaib Akhtar, Shahid Afridi. Name your bowler, right? Name your pacer. Mohammad Asif, Mohammad Amir. They don't have that. So it's give or takes, and we celebrate what we have, and they celebrate what they have, and that's how the world keeps going.
You mentioned, you talked about Fakhar, we talked about a backup opener. I think maybe if you want to introduce a backup keeper and a backup opener, Hasibullah could be a decent choice. He has a very good list A numbers, and I don't think we have a backup keeper in this squad.
Who was in the Ruhail Nazir was in the squad?
That was Tess.
That was it?
Yeah.
The ODI does not have had a backup keeper?
Doubt it.
Okay. Well, I'm not as much worried.
I think Hasibullah is in the squad, actually.
I'm not as much worried about ODIs right now in this moment, like you said, because of the nature of the game, it being a T20 World Cup year. I'm more focused on the T20 series. I'm more focused on if which players are in song and who's scoring runs and who's in form and what's the momentum looking like. And I think this tour for Pakistan was a really good, positive momentum building, momentum shifting series or tour where Pakistan really found a few different points of celebration. So Abrar Ahmed is one of them for sure.
Abrar just got to 102 international wickets for Pakistan.
Yeah. Big feat.
And his numbers in the limited over formats are really good because his economy is phenomenal. I think his economy is around 4 in ODIs, around 6-7 in T20Is. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I hate Gen Zs.
Cancel.
So yeah, like we now can point at some people and be like, hey, Abrar Ahmed, he's a match winner, genuine. He stays in your all format. Saim Ayub, all format. Babar Azam, all format now. Like that's just the way it is. And Rizwan's keeping again. He reminds us why he's the best keeper in the world. Saman Yaga, the spine of Pakistan cricket. I've said this so many times. T20 is questionable, needs more work. I can agree with all that. I'm here to hear those arguments. But when it comes to just ODIs and Test match cricket, Saman Yaga is the guy. And not only that, in the third ODI, he also showed why he needs to be consistently bowling, because he's not going to be taking wickets every single game. He might just be a container in some of those games, but the opposition will look to charge him as the quote unquote weak link. And if he just uses his mind, uses the pitch, and uses the drift and the spin and all that stuff that off spinners do, he can take wickets. And he took 2 crucial wickets today to ensure that Pakistan gets the deal done. And so we have Agha, we have Babar, we have Saim, we have Abrar, we have Shaheen as the new captain. Probably also all format, if not back to back. We saw some sort of positive glimpse into Naseem Shah. He looked better than he had before. I'm not still saying that he's the way that he was pre-injury or the zip zap zoom that he had in that Asia Cup 2022. I'm all ears for all sorts of open criticism, constructive criticism on Naseem Shah as well. But it looked better. Nawaz is still a handy all-rounder. Might be the best all-rounder right now we have in the squad. Can bat, can bowl. Who else?
I want to talk about some more important things, actually.
Yeah.
When is number 32 coming?
When is number 32 coming is a really good question.
And I mean,
It wasn't gonna be today.
Babar's 32nd international 100.
Look, people are like, online. It's like a funeral has taken out for number 32 today because he was going to make it today. Bro, the target was 140 something. It was never going to happen today. So everybody who's like, oh,
when is it going to happen?
32 was lost. It was not today. The best case
Why
scenario
is
for 32
okay? Let me rephrase
was the
this.
first ODI in my opinion.
Let me rephrase. Why is Babar getting to starts, 20s, 30s, 40s, and not converting them to big scores like he used to back in the day? And I say that because getting to that 25, 30, that's the most toughest part of the innings. To get a start, get your eye in, get set, see off the new ball, the spin, whatever. And once Babar's in, that's when he's throwing his wicket away.
Yeah, today, like, it was his call for the third. So it's not even like Saim ran him out. It was his call for the third.
He got out, looked up at the heavens, and he's like, man, not today.
Yeah, but again, there was no 32 on the cards today. The score was not enough for Babar to even think about that. And so I thought Babar had the best chance in the first ODI. And every single ODI since then and since today will be tougher and tougher and tougher for 32. My hot take, if you guys are ready for this, is that Babar's 32 is not going to be in ODI. It's going to be in T20Is.
I think it's coming in Pindi.
You think so?
But I do think that Sri Lanka is going to be
It's coming in this season. It's coming in this year. It is. And if it's not, then it's going to come next year. Like, what are you going to do? It has to come. We all are waiting.
Or not the next year. Or the next.
Okay,
the next.
Well, I just think that people need to like calm down a little bit. I think Hassan was asked the same question, not the 32 thing, but about why Babar is getting starts and not finishing. And Hassan had a really good jawab. Hassan had a really good reply to that to Ramiz Raja, and he just said that sometimes what is happening in here kind of reflects on what's happening with the bat, and you just gotta sort of compute both of those things. I'm actually reading a book right now, and it's about Bruce Springsteen's one of my favorite albums by him, Nebraska. And the book keeps hitting the point that this album is amazing because Bruce didn't know that he was making an album. He just basically at the end of the day released demos, and demos were supposed to then get built out into proper songs. But whatever he captured in those demos was just so powerful that he wasn't able to modify any of it. He just put them out in a record, and that's the album that we listen to today. I think I was thinking about that act of not making an album and then accidentally making an album. I think that's the entire act of batting is that. When you go in there, like when Brian Lara went into bat against England, he didn't think that he was going to make 400 today. He accidentally did. Not saying that it was by luck or anything. It was definitely by design, and he is that kind of player that will go ahead and look at those numbers and want to achieve them. But the only way that Babar can go to number 32 is if he stops trying to make 32 happen. He just has to go there and score runs 1 run at a time, and he'll find himself at the 32 in no time.
Brilliant. Bruce, Brian, Babar.
Boom.
Yashi Sports.
What?
Canada's home of cricket. They are proud sponsors of Backward Point, and they've given us an exclusive code 15%. BP15 for 15%.
I think that's what you should have said.
Off
Bruce, Brian, Babar,
BP15. Oh my God. Missed
Missed it.
opportunity. Missed opportunity. But yeah, guys, if you're in North America and if you play cricket, you want to buy your equipment, you want to upgrade your stuff, you want to get some new stuff, Yashi Sports has you covered. They've got bats, pads, helmets, gloves, thigh pads, shoes, kit bags, basically anything you can imagine for cricket. Yashi Sports has you covered. And they've given us the code BP15 for Backward Point listeners to use for 15% off your purchase. And they also have free shipping on orders of $350 and up.
Thank you very much, Yashi Sports, as always, for being the home of cricket for Canada.
My next question is regarding just Mohammad Rizwan and ODIs. It's been a trend where if Pakistan loses early wickets, when I mean like in the first 10 overs, Rizwan really struggles against the moving ball. In addition, if Rizwan comes in the middle overs, he really struggles with his strike rate. And the stat is that Rizwan's strike rate is the lowest for any batter this year from a full member nation who has a minimum of 300 runs.
Oh, wow.
And so again, it just goes back to Pakistan having the inability to score big. And I think Rizwan is a pretty big component on why we're getting bogged down in the middle.
73 strike rate in this ODI series he had. Second lowest for Pakistan is Fakhar Zaman and then Saim.
Yeah, I will say that these are tough conditions, but like the trend in general is that Rizwan's been struggling in the middle overs, also been struggling when we lose early wickets. So I don't know if number 4 is the best position for him.
He's come out literally into the press and said that that's the number I want to play. हिला सकते हो तो हिला लो, हटा सकते हो तो हटा दो. Like if you can move him, go ahead. Like I think sure he should play a bit lower, maybe 5, maybe 6. And I personally think Aga should be higher. Where does he play at? Number 5 now?
Yeah.
Maybe just swap those and see what happens. Honestly, the real hot take probably of this entire podcast, then Mohammad Nawaz should be playing in the top 5.
I think Pakistan is missing a left-hander in the top 6. And everyone's asking, where's Saud Shakil? And we saw him come magically in the side for the Champions Trophy and then also magically disappear after the Champions Trophy. He's giving me Haris Sohail vibes.
Yo,
that he would come in. Haris Sohail was famous for coming in like months before a big tournament and to disappear. 2015 ODI World Cup, 2019 ODI World Cup. He also tried to come back before the next ODI World Cup in India, but he got injured in the practice against New Zealand.
The 2017 Champions Trophy as well. He was there. This guy.
My boy.
What a guy. 2015 ODI World Cup as well. Let's take that in. What was I going to say? Oh, Saud Shakil. He has a 50 against India in that Champions Trophy. You and I were
saw it.
Eyewitness to that 50. Not the best, I would say, in the world. When that happened, I was like, wait, really? But, definitely something to think about. Part of the regular test squad, I think, also lacking some form, in my opinion. So maybe, I don't know what he's doing. He's probably in the... Actually, he is. He's playing domestic right now.
Yeah.
I was watching. He was playing for Karachi. He's playing domestic. Again, Karachi agenda. You can't beat it. And so I would love to see him back in the middle order, but where? Where does he go?
That's a good question.
Right? Where does he go? I think in this Hassan era, ODI cricket, you'll see a lot more. You'll see the same that you're seeing in T20s, which is a lot more all-rounders. What I would love is that if you actually want to try somebody else in the middle order, again, Mohammad Nawaz, he's the guy. If you remember, the one T20I that Pakistan beat India in 2020, remind me.
2.
3? 2?
2.
Which was the Super Fours game. It was because of Mohammad Nawaz. He came in at number 4 and he scored 40 off 19. And
but I also
I've heard
think
a lot of people say, including, famously Rashid Latif from God Behind, he said that this guy is a domestic warrior and he has a lot of first-class games under his belt, which means he's a technically sound batsman. He should be up the order.
I also think that if Nawaz does go up the order, then you're lacking power hitters in the last 10 overs.
You have
Basically,
Hassan Nawaz. You have Hassan Nawaz.
Hassan
playing
Nawaz
at
is
7.
on the bench, bro.
But he was there.
Hussain at number 6 can't hit. So all you have is Nawaz and Fahim at number 7, 8.
So they played Fahim, Nawaz, and Hussain Salah today. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Where you said that both playing Fahim and Nawaz would be weird and difficult, they basically did it. And they had Haris Rauf and Shaheen in there as well.
I think I prefer this lineup versus the Hassan Nawaz one because I think Hassan Nawaz, yes, 50 on debut, very good. But I just think he lacks some game sense when it comes to the 50 over format. And
go back to domestic.
Talking about domestic, we saw Wasim Jr. finally get a game,
He got a game.
in a second ODI, but then he got benched again. So we heard Hassan in the post-match say that he's trying to manage the workload. There's 6 ODIs in like 12 days. So obviously guys need to have some rotation. But I would have loved if, okay, yes, if Wasim Jr.'s action was worked on by the bowling coach and it was fixed, maybe he should have been sent to domestic to play one or at least two matches of
Yeah.
first class, just so he can be like more in bowling rhythm. Plus match practice. There's so many conversations in our match practice how nets can never replicate what the actual match situation is and how your body reacts under pressure during a match. So yeah, maybe a missed opportunity there to not send Wasim Jr. for domestic for a couple of games.
He's still in the squad, right?
Yes.
So he's probably still going to play the Sri Lanka games.
Yeah, maybe one
At
or
least
two.
one or two in there
Yeah.
as well. Maybe give him the run. Why not? If Hassan is looking at Wasim Jr. as a definite replacement for Haris Rauf, because Haris still looks pretty bad.
Can ball in the power play.
Cannot ball to save his life in the power play. If you tell him there's a gun on your head and everybody that loves you, their heads, you just cannot concede more than 10 runs. It will be very, very difficult for Haris Rauf to do that. And that's tough because he's been in this circuit for 4 years for sure. He's been consistently playing for Pakistan. And it's just like, at this point, there again, same thing with Babar. If there is no evolution, there is regression.
I think if Pakistan are looking to beef up their bench strength for pace bowlers, why not try Mohammad Hasnain? Like Mohammad Hasnain in Australia was really good. Didn't get many games after that, and just he's been benched since. So if we are experimenting, maybe give Hasnain a shot because with Haris, we already have the information that we need that he struggles in the bowling power play and he can be good towards the death if there's reversing on offer. Hasnain, I think, has shown a bit more consistency. He has tendencies to also be wayward, but looking ahead at the next ODI World Cup, are these our best bowling options? Shaheen, Naseem, Wasim Jr., Haris Rauf, and then Fahim as all-rounder?
It's pretty thin. I'm not gonna lie. Salman Mirza might be an interesting inclusion into that lineup for sure. That's somebody I'd be interested in seeing play a little bit into the longer formats. Wasim Jr. looked better to me than a lot of these other guys, but man, Shaheen is obviously the guy. So there's no way we're even gonna be talking about him being removed or whatnot. But Naseem looks stiff, looks ordinary, looks mediocre. Does not have that same zing.
3 no balls in this series.
Unlike him, right? Definitely something's going on in his bowling action or his landing or his run up. Something has to move for that sort of extras to be bowled into the first place. So maybe it's a work in progress. So we should maybe sit and relax and see. One thing I'm sure is that I'm nervous about Haris Rauf being into the T20 squad as your third pacer. That gives me a little bit of heebie-jeebies. I think
he's still in the reserves for this tri-series, so we're not going to see him in action. Which I think is a good call by the management because we already know what Haris Rauf can give, right? Might as well try out Salman Mirza or Wasim Jr.
But I think that what I'm fearing and sensing is that I think the coaching staff and management will still persist with Haris Rauf based on just experience, numbers of games he's played, ICC tournament appearances, etc., etc. And I think that maybe me personally speaking, maybe I'm ready for us to move on from Haris Rauf, at least for this T20 World Cup. Take him with you for insurance purposes if you actually need him, but I would start Mohammad Wasim Jr. over him. I think that's just me. Seeing him bowl in the second ODI, his 5-over spell was insanely entertaining to watch. Zinging, slinging, swinging, everything, and then he actually got the wicket that he needed as well. Not much to say about that second ODI. That's why we never did the review of that. But in a whole, that was a standout for me to see that, hey, we do have a third bowling option that is pretty good, slingy, fast. Not as fast as I remember and not as fast as that he probably wants to be. But definitely, again, a work in progress that you just keep building on, that you could see him touch 145 plus again. And that's an asset for you, isn't it?
Shaheen, Naseem, Haris Rauf, Wasim Jr. This is now a 4-pronged, injury-stricken bowling attack.
Yeah.
Shaheen with his knee, Naseem shoulder, Haris Rauf shoulder, Wasim Jr. lower back. And with how the PCB's medical staff is, how poorly done the rehab is for all the players, good luck to these guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of personal rehab being going on for sure. You actually forgot Hassan Ali in that countdown. He might be coming in and out for that 27 World Cup as well. But yeah, I would love to see some positive movement on the fast bowling network. Salman Mirza was definitely a breath of fresh air. I would love to see him more into the size. Show me some test matches for sure. If he's playing domestic right now, the Qadi Azam Trophy, show me some numbers. Let's get it on. One person that I'm actually interested in seeing and how his career plays out for Pakistan is Shamil Hussain. Top 3 run scorer in the Qadi Azam Trophy in the 6th round so far, and is consistently up there. A good fielder as well. And so maybe, we were talking about an opening slot available. Maybe it's a bit too early to say that Shamil should come and play the World Cup in 27, but definitely start introducing some sort of new blood into this team. One of the criticism that I saw on this tour, it's especially the ODI tour, was that I think South Africa played 5 or 6 debutants in this entire series, and Pakistan played maybe one, maybe not even. Pakistan just played a lot of people that they hadn't played in a while. So kind of the same thing, kind of not really. Maybe introducing newer blood into the ODI lineup right now in this moment would
I
help.
think the issue is there's not many ODIs that we play. So the limited ODIs that we have, we need to give the guys who typically play ODIs some more game time in this format.
You know what's insane? Babar's going to close into almost 10 years of playing for Pakistan, or actually already has probably at this point, and he only has 137 ODIs.
That's crazy.
And Shahid Afridi played 20 years for Pakistan from 96 to 2016 and has 350 ODI.
Because back then, a proper full-fledged tour used to be 3 tests, 5 ODIs, 3 T20s. Things have changed now. It's now 2 tests, 5 T20Is, 3 ODIs. Commercial.
Yes, I remember I was at Babar's 100th ODI game in Karachi in 2023. That was 2 years ago, and in 2 years he only played 37 ODIs. That includes a World Cup and a Champions Trophy as well. So tough. I don't know what's gonna happen. The future of cricket looks interesting and a little bit bleak. But I think the answer is to move to a 40 over World Cup, man. A 40 over ODI. They moved it from 60 to 50, and then they haven't moved it.
How would the reverse swing come into play? Because I think one of the most fascinating parts of ODIs is the ball getting old, reverse swing coming into play. So would they just use 1 ball? Would they use 2 balls and then choose 1 ball going forward after?
Yeah, same thing that they're doing right now. After maybe the 27th over or the 30th, or pick a number. Pick an over.
Right now it's the 34th over.
34th, right? So maybe you can bring that back to the 27th and be like, after the 27th over, you choose 1 ball and you bowl that all the way to the 40th.
Remember the power play used to have a batting power play in ODIs?
I missed that.
5 over batting power play?
You could reintroduce that. If you're reintroducing the reverse swing, then reintroduce that as
well.
well.
So they introduce, instead of that, they have basically between overs 10 to 40, I believe. It's a power play where only 4 fielders are outside.
Yeah.
So 5 are inside. There's always 1 boundary option open.
But I don't think they're exercising that option.
Yeah.
People are not.
Especially not Rizwan.
Really, not Rizwan. Rizwan is like out.
Rizwan played a reverse lap today.
Yeah, Rizwan was 16 of 32 or something. He was at a 50 strike rate, and then he brought it up. The theory in the Patreon chat was that, hey, he's trying to do this to make sure that what's his name, Saim gets 100. But I was a bit dubious about that. I think TR was the one floating that theory around, but I wasn't really sure how much to believe that. And then he just started lapping and reverse sweeping, and I was like, I don't think this is happening because you need 15 runs, and this guy's at 77. It's not going to happen. I would have loved to see actually Saim finish the game today, but again, a bit annoying that he didn't. It would have helped his case as well. Just another not out, average, strike rate, all that goes up. Innings, I think you save another innings, right? Because your innings technically hasn't ended, so your innings, in the innings count, you have less. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have more matches, less innings, and then I just want him to break some records. That's all I'm saying.
And ODIs might be the format the way he's going.
Yeah, he's already at 700 runs, man.
Also, speaking of records, Quinton de Kock, he became the second fastest to 7,000 ODI runs. And he is number 3 on the list of most ODI hundreds for South Africa. Generational talent and outstanding player in this format for South Africa.
And
he's just behind Amla and AB de Villiers. That's how good he is. And he's so young. He can continue playing in this format.
Which just shocks me that he took his retirement when he did.
Yeah.
What did he do in those 2 years?
Play leagues.
Made a lot of money. And then now he's back. And so it's not a positive precedence to be set for cricketers all around, because suddenly you'll see Asif Ali did this, right? He just took his retirement. You saw this with Amir and Asif. Oh, sorry,
Ahmad.
Amir and Ahmad just recently. I don't like it. It's not the way that I roll, but definitely something that has helped him, I guess. He still looks like he just picked up where he dropped it off.
Imagine if Henrik Larsson takes retirement back. I think that would make a very OP South African team for the World
I'm
Cup.
shocked that he didn't. Like, I'm shocked that he did take his retirement and didn't play the 27 World Cup.
Look, there's been news floating around.
Oh, sorry, the 26 World Cup, my bad.
There's been news floating around that there's IPL teams offering year-long contracts and offering millions of bucks for players to retire and just play for that specific team in the leagues all over the world.
AKA Trent Bolt, AKA Romanian.
Pat Cummins, I think also Travis Head.
No, but Trent Bolt like plays every.
Yeah,
league
he does
the
that now,
Indians
yes,
are in.
correct.
And so like MLC, SA20.
But I'm talking about active players. I think there was either Travis
But he
Head or
retired
Pat
because of that.
Cummins. He didn't retire. He just doesn't have a contract with New Zealand Cricket.
Interesting. Neither does Mohammad Rizwan.
Neither does Kane Williamson. Neither does Tim Southey. So they still play for New Zealand like on an on-demand basis.
Like they're contractors.
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy. Okay.
So it's interesting. Yeah.
But overall, Bashar, your thoughts on this tour? Again, we're doing a tour wrap up right now.
I think Pakistan pulled off a Pakistan in every single format of this of this series. Like in the test matches, there was that one test match where they just let it loose. T20Is, the first game, they were just nowhere to be found. ODI, second game was absolutely horrible. But I'm glad Pakistan bounced back as they tend to do.
Can I give you some stats on most runs and most wickets in this ODI series?
Give it to me.
Most runs we know is Kohinoor Dekaki, one player of the series. 239. Number 2, Saim Ayub, with 169 runs and a 56 average at a strike rate of 94. 250s in there. And then, again, Babar is in the top 10, but again, it's just the series, nothing more to say. Second highest run score for Pakistan in this series was Salman Ali Agha with 136 runs. So shout out to Agha. I keep saying backbone of Pakistan cricket. Let's talk about most wickets. Not a lot of wickets for Pakistan in this ODI series. But the number one guy who only played 2 matches in 2 innings, Imran Ahmed. 7 wickets.
Really good. I think
You cannot keep him away from this.
he hasn't been found out yet. I thought like when he first came on the scene that he'd be found out a lot sooner, but I think he's been doing really well with his change of paces, his googly, his leg break. So yeah, good signs for Pakistan if he continues to play because he takes wickets, but also has a lid on the scoring rate.
In ODIs, you were right. His economy is 4.47, and he's taken 25 wickets in just 13 innings.
4.4 economy in ODIs in this era is insane.
Yeah, I think his best figures were also today 4 for 27 in ODIs.
Yeah.
Also,
just a word on Shaheen's workload. I think they've done really well with managing his workload in this series. He balled 10 overs the first match. I believe he balled 7 in the second match, and then like around 4 in this match. So like 21, 22 overs in the 3 ODIs. So because they have so many bowling options, they can like rest him even during a match. Like Fahim didn't bowl today.
Yeah, I see that. And again, that comes back to a pretty solid captaincy on Shaheen's part to manage all that stuff. I was going to ask you about Shaheen's captaincy and what you think of it. Honestly, the first time I've seen Shaheen, I don't want to say ever because maybe I've seen it before and I forgot, but he usually is a boundary fielder. Today I was fielding inside the circle.
I was going to say.
Caught a catch at the covers.
That's so weird to see Shaheen in the circle because I think he also prefers to field on the boundary. Like he wants to be in the hot spots. So yeah, good work from him. Good captaincy. I think it's a captaincy right now. I think it's hybrid for Pakistan right now. It's Mike Hesson plus it's the captain. Yeah. So there's constant go for it.
Hybrid system in Pakistan in government and hybrid in captaincy.
There we go. So there's constant messaging being passed on from the dugout to the field, and I think it's a decent thing. Like yes, you're obviously also developing Shaheen as a captain, looking ahead at the ODI World Cup. So these series, the consultation between Mike Hesson and Shaheen is going to help. In the post match, there was a funny scene I thought in the pitch side show where Mike Hesson is explaining how they're doing a rotation policy. They want to make sure guys are fresh. There's a lot of games coming up, and then the camera pans over to Ramiz, and he says that I just want more stability. I want the same team every match. And Mike's like, all right.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough call. Rambo is fun, audacious sometimes, a little bit annoying as well. Apparently, extremely important for the Zohran Mamdani campaign.
Yo, insane.
The most insane crossover.
Zohran Mamdani quoted Ramiz Raja in one of his gatherings.
What a quote as well. The quote was, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Which is, I can't believe Mamdani actually pulled that out. This is why he's amazing. And shout out to New York City. You guys are amazing. Can't believe you guys actually pulled it off. But yeah, like somebody's gotta tell him to retire. Like it's time, bro. It's time. But I would love to have him on the podcast. I think he'd be a really interesting guest, like I said. Any word on the Hong Kong Sixers, was there? Following that?
Why are we sending a young team? Wouldn't it be better if these guys would be playing domestic cricket like Abbas Afridi, Mohammad Shahzad, Masadakat? Like we took them out of the domestic season and we just told them, hey, go play this Hong Kong Sixers. On the other hand, India's playing Robin Uthappa, Dinesh Karthik, and a few other players that are all retired. So are we taking this tournament too seriously?
I think we're doing the opposite. Not taking it seriously at all. Just setting your beast, like, what, Abbas Afridi?
Bro, he's in contention to be in the T20 team.
Yeah, but he's like the captain of this Hong Kong Sixers team.
Okay, we sent still a young team, whereas India sent a retired team.
Okay, that's India's doing. Again, we always used to send semi-new, semi-relevant players into the Hong Kong Sixers. Remember Imran Nazir lost us one game?
Because of his bowling.
40 runs in one over.
Bro, that game gives me trauma.
I remember that game. And so, like, we always used to send, like, MS Shahzad played Hong Kong
David
Sixers
Warner was playing that same tournament as well.
Could be. So, like, it's just whatever, man. It's the Hong Kong Sixers. It's for fun. But Pakistan is playing the semifinals in 49 minutes, according to Cricketful. These are considered, like, ICC mandated games?
No. These games hold no value. They don't go into stats.
Is like ball by ball.
Yeah, they're just reporting it.
But they don't report.
But it's not going into any actual database, I think.
Okay.
Are you following the Kevin Peterson stuff? His new channel, KP
No, what is
Switch?
This? Let me just check this out. What is going on there?
So
I think Babar was on there.
Yeah. My question to Babar is, I don't know if Babar knew, but it's called The Switch. It's a channel by Kevin Peterson, and it's powered by Dual Bits News.
Okay.
So wasn't the whole narrative that we were being told that Babar is one or being sidelined because they were against surrogate betting companies, and then now Babar is going to work on KP's channel, which is powered by.
Is he working or is this a guest?
He's a guest, but
that
again,
really
it's 100% a paid promotion. Like he's been paid to go to Riyadh and shoot this stuff. So why now?
I mean, beats me, bro. I'm not really sure. I'm not really into this whole betting surrogacy thing. Babar and Rizwan definitely have taken a stance on it. And if they were unaware, then that's ignorance. And if they were aware, then that's hypocrisy. And so now I'm in a weird position where I'm like, it's either ignorance or hypocrisy, and both are stupid. You should know better if this is the scene. But we'll see. Maybe his episode isn't sponsored by them.
But the entire show is sponsored by.
Is it a show or is it a YouTube channel?
It's a channel, but he's doing like segments, like interviews, challenges. He has Dale Steyn,
let's
Jaiswal, Yuvraj Singh, Babar is there. Andy Murray, you got Andy Murray as well.
Well, let's let the episodes drop and then let's make a judgment call on that. How about that?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about the India-Australia series before we wrap up. Look, a lot of our Indian friends watch our episodes, right? And they're a very vocal minority. They leave a lot of comments that apparently disturbs a lot of the other fans that are just there for the funsies and the good times. And they're like, why is everybody mean in the comment section? So let's just give the mean commenters what they want. Let us talk about an A-strung Indian side barely winning from an Australian side that didn't have Pat Cummins, Stark. Who else didn't they have?
Hazelwood wasn't there
Hazelwood in the last
matches.
So
Cam Green wasn't there.
Let's just talk about it. India has secured another W. They have now lost 70 20Is in the past 2 years, which is an insane number. Just wrapping your head around that is insane. And Sky keeps his job.
Yeah, really good stuff. I mean, Shivam Dubey finally loses a match. Like there's a stat where since 2019, India has not lost a match where Dubey was in the playing 11.
That's an insane.
So
run.
that's
I would just keep
bro.
the guy around. Some said that was the case, that they were just keeping the guy around because of that stat. But what a run! What an iconic run!
But again, I think it was a combination of India trying to win plus also experimenting because they dropped Sanju Samson, they got Jitesh Sharma to keep, they got Dubey to bat one down in one of the matches. They were like a lot of chopping and changing just to see what the best combination is. Because again, the whole point of bilaterals is to prepare for a World Cup, a big tournament coming up. And I feel like that was India. That was what India was doing early on. So even Australia, like they rested their main guys in the last few matches to keep them fresh. So yeah, good win for India. 2-1 series win. A win is a win.
I mean, a lot of rain affected games. It's
really early on in the Australian summer now.
But the intensity of the series that they had, at least in the ODIs, was kind of washed away because of just the rain, and obviously nobody has any control over that. But it was a bit bumming to me. Player of the series still went to Abhishek Sharma. Thoughts on
I'm
that?
really glad that he scored runs because like he's now showing that he can score runs anywhere
Anywhere in the
and
world.
everywhere against anyone. So dangerous signs. I think any records in T20 eyes is going to be broken by this guy. Like fastest to whatever strike rates averages.
Abhishek
He's a
Sharma
player
in
to
the
watch.
T20I series, 5 innings, 163 runs, highest of 68, average of 40, strike rate of 161.
Consistency. It's not just the high strike rate; it's also the high average.
Yeah, both of that. Insanely good stuff from him.
And
where-
we like to tease the Indian people who watch because it's kind of like, you know, in school when you bully a kid and when that kid like he gets teased, you want to tease him more.
Yeah.
So that's why it's more fun to tease.
I mean, they're also like huge winners. Like they win all the time. So like if you are, it's not like we're punching down. We're punching up. These guys are world champions in literally every single format except maybe tests. Right? Yeah. South Africa is
Right now, even the women's format.
the women's have won. Congratulations to the women. Yes. Yeah. Again, congratulations to the Indian women team. It's a win not only for the Indian team but South Asian women all over. I think a lot of Pakistani cricketers look up to the Indian women cricketers as well. So I know that they draw inspiration from that. Border or no border, it's a win for all of that. So congratulations. We forgot about that. It was an actually insanely close final.
I watched it.
So fun to just cover cricket itself in the purest form in a final between India and Australia. So
Rohit in the stands watching.
India and South Africa, my bad. Yes.
Rohit was in the stands watching as
Jay Shah was there as
India
well.
left the trophy.
So shout outs to you guys, the Indian women's cricket team. India now have test matches starting from Thursday against South Africa. They have, I believe, 2 test matches, and then again,
Where?
why 2 test matches? Just make them 3.
Where's it
I
happening?
understand that. Eden Gardens and Guwahati.
Guwahati. Okay.
Where is that? Where's Guwahati?
Eden Gardens is Kolkata.
I know Eden Gardens, but where's Guwahati? Interesting. I might Google that on my way. And then they have ODIs, and then they have, how many T20s do I have? They have 5 T20s, I believe. They have 3 ODIs and 5 T20s. And then they go to New Zealand. So I'm just doing a tour breakdown so I understand how much cricket they're playing. And then they go into the World Cup after New Zealand. They have 5 T20Is there as well as 3 ODIs. A lot of cricket for India as well. So we will be keeping a close eye on that as it moves along.
Especially when they lose.
Especially when they know. Look, people keep calling us out that we only talk about Indians when they lose. We talk about when you guys won, guys. What else do you want? Congratulations to you guys. You guys won another thing. I think I want to end on Buttafast. Buttafast has a new video out, Ahmed did an essay on is too much winning fun? And I think it relates closely to our Indian friends. It's just not, it doesn't become fun for a lot of people when your team is just winning. I think about City fans sometimes. And I'm like, or Liverpool fans. I'm like, what fun do you guys have? You know, it's either like your day is absolutely ruined if you guys lose to an arch nemesis, like, you know, when Pakistan beat India in 2017, or you guys just win. And I've never supported a team in my entire life that has been in that position, but it sounds like a bore. And that's why everybody hated the Australians in the 90s and 2000s. And then now everybody's pouncing against the Indians because they win everything. And so we're punching up and we will continue to do so. I hope that does not tickle you guys the opposite way, but it's all for fun. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's humans with a stick hitting a ball. That's all it is. And the only thing is that we are obsessed with it and we watch it and we love it. And we want you guys to do the same thing. So if you guys are here with love, we shake your hands. If you guys are here with hate, we don't even reply.
God behind.
God.